Hello, everybody, and welcome to a new segment that I'm going to be doing called CuriousJ Talk. I've been wanting to do like a podcast kind of thing for a while and talk about certain things that are going on in, I guess, geek culture or pop culture, if you will. You know, the superhero stuff, Star Wars, sci-fi, you know, things like that of that nature. So I figured, why not? Why not jump into this? So I'm going to start off with this episode is going to be about the Captain Marvel Backlash. Now, I didn't know anything about this until about a week or so ago. And I had no idea what was happening until I saw a lot of these videos on YouTube. One of them just popped up on, what to watch. And I didn't know what was going on. So I started watching it. And then more popped up and more popped up. And oh my God. it's incredible what's happening. Brie Larson apparently loves to talk. And apparently she doesn't know how to talk correctly. And I'm not trying to be insulting. I'm saying that you have to learn to phrase, just like an archer. Phrasing, you have to, make it to where you're clear, because the internet will, and people in general, will misunderstand what you're saying. And from what I've read, I can understand completely, because when I was reading the stuff that she had said, I got mad. I got angry. I was like, what? You gotta be kidding me. There's no way somebody's talking like this. And I am it was mainly, it was against white guys, from what I saw. And I am of Spanish descent. My mom is Cuban, my dad's Puerto Rican. So I don't have a dog in this fight. But when I read it, I thought racism. That's exactly what I thought. I saw it and I was like, this is racist. If you put another color there instead of white, it's racist. So it is racist. So I couldn't understand it, and it's it's amazing to see this stuff. And like I said, I was very, very angry. So when I saw these things, I was thinking about doing something, and I waited. And it's a way of doing things I've learned a while ago. And I learned it from a guy on TV, a famous coach from the NFL. He was an ESPN commentator for a while. His name is Herm Edwards. And he's an awesome guy. I mean, you watch him, and he's not with ESPN anymore. He is the head coach for Arizona State University. And for a while there, the players were on tweeting or making tweets and saying the wrong things constantly. It was just crazy, one after another. And Herm Edwards, they asked him, what would you tell these players? And he said the perfect thing. He goes, don't press send. Don't press send. Just don't press send. That's exactly how I said it. It was great. And from that point on, it stuck in my head. And he's right. A lot of these players were doing knee-jerk reactions. And so I decided, don't press send. I'm going to wait. And I'm glad I did. I calmed down, and I started looking at the articles more and reading more and getting more ideas. And I understand why people are mad. And I can see where she's coming from at the same time. I'm not defending her, but I'm not, crucifying her like a lot of these people are. I mean, oh my God. So let's get into what she had said. All right. It was started with, apparently she was going to interview this journalist. Her name was Kia Brown, I believe I said it right, who's an African-American journalist who has cerebral palsy, which is a really nice thing for her to do, and Brown, the woman who got the interview, acknowledged in the article that Larson had requested her to conduct the interview, which she told her it was game-changing and the biggest opportunity she's had. That alone is, God, really? It's almost like you're lucky you're getting this. That's what it sounds like. Okay, I'm not saying she said it. I'm saying it sounds like it. Again, you have to be careful on what you say. Phrasing. Okay. And basically, so after that, she asked her why, she selected her and why her. So this is what she said. She goes, about a year ago, this is Brie Larson, by the way. About a year ago, I started paying attention to what my press days look like and the critics reviewing movies, and noticed it appeared to be overwhelmingly white male. So I spoke to Dr. Stacy Smith at the USC Annenberg Inclusion Initiative, who put together a study to confirm that. So, sure enough, they confirmed it, I guess. Moving forward, I decided to make sure my press days were more inclusive. After speaking with you, the Miss Brown, the film critic Valeria Complex, and a few other women of color, it sounded like across the board they weren't getting the same opportunities as others. When I talked to the facilities that weren't providing it, they had different excuses. Okay, I have a problem there. They had different excuses. who says they're excuses? You do. Maybe they were giving you reasons why that wasn't happening. I mean, did you ever think about that? I mean, the problem is there. You shouldn't judge anybody at all by their sex, race, or whatever anything is. There are really good critics out there who are white, and there are really good critics who aren't white. It's just the fact of the matter. That's what it is, And it just so happens to be that the majority of white males that are actually doing are critics. Well, that's what they chose to do, and apparently it's a job that apparently a lot of white males like to do. Most women apparently like to go into other fields, from what I've heard. They like doing other things. It's so you're gonna have the majority of white. It doesn't make it wrong that mostly white males do it. For instance, in basketball, it's the majority of players are black. The vast majority. Same with football. And in hockey, the vast majority are white. I don't see a problem with any of it. It's just the way it is. There was a really interesting, I don't know if it was Behind the Lines or whatever. It was on ESPN, and they were trying to find out why more African Americans weren't playing baseball. And they were trying to have all these, initiatives and it wasn't working because the African American youngsters didn't want to play baseball. They said it was boring. They interviewed a bunch of them. They said the same thing. It was boring. They didn't want to do it. So they went on to basketball and football and so forth. So, and baseball now is mostly are white and Hispanic. Hispanics love their basketball. I know. As I told you, I'm a Hispanic. But, I mean, I prefer football, but again, it is what it is. It's just, that's the way it is. So I'm not a fan of the way she phrased that. They're excuses. They weren't excuses. There were reasons. I guarantee you there were reasons. There is no, I guess, cabal of critics that all gather together, like the Illuminati, saying we cannot have women critics. We cannot have women of color or any color people doing critiquing movies and stuff. No, that is bad. We have to keep it all white. There's nothing like that. Come on. That's just plain stupid. I mean, it's just the way it is. Now, if she would have came out and went, I'd like to have, make some initiatives or put in some plans to try to get more people of color, women of color, different races to become critics. That's great. I have no problem with that. But she basically went out of her way to say white male. And it is true. She's not lying, but she made it sound like, I don't want white males there. There's more, things she says about that, which you can't do that, So, it doesn't make sense. Here's another quote she said, this was another one. Audiences are not allowed enough chances to read public discourse. Audiences are not allowed enough chances to read public discourse on these films by the people that the films were made for. I do not need a 40-year-old white dude to tell me what didn't work for him about A Wrinkle in Time. It wasn't made for him. I want to know what it meant to women of color, to biracial women, to teen women of color, to teens that are biracial. All right, I have another problem with that. Again, white dudes. All right. This is such a... First of all, A Wrinkle in Time was not a great movie. It wasn't. I don't care who you are. It wasn't a great movie. And I've heard many women say the same thing. It wasn't a great movie. So she's basically saying that a white guy cannot critique A Wrinkle in Time because it wasn't made for him. Really? I watched Black Panther and I thought it was all right. I'm Spanish, but it wasn't made for me, so I can't critique it? I'm not allowed. I mean, so a white guy can't critique Black Panther? I'm having a problem saying that word. Really? I mean, so a woman can't critique John Wick because it's an action movie made for men. Come on. That is awful. You're not going to sit there and tell me that a white man who's a critic can't sit there and go to see a rom-com or comedy or cartoon for that matter and not go, watch it and think to himself, well, this is a terrible movie. What guy is going to like this? They know what they're going to see. They know it is for a cartoon is for children. Well, for most part, cartoons nowadays are made for older people too, like Paradise PD and there's a few other ones like I'm going blank. Oh my gosh, Futurama. I mean, that's another one that's made for a cartoon for adults. Family Guy is another one, and on and on and on and on. And it doesn't make sense to where you're going to sit there and tell me, that a guy can't critique that movie because it's not made for you. So all right, so you're going to say basically an African American woman can't critique back to John Wick, really? Because it's not made for her? Who's to say what's made for who? I like cartoons. Just like it doesn't even have to be, an adult cartoon. I'll watch cartoons. I've caught myself watching SpongeBob every so often. Sometimes I think it's pretty funny. Some of the stuff they say. So it's wrong of her to say that. I know where she's going with this. She wants more people of color and teens, I guess, biracial people and people of color to be more critics. And I get it. That's fine. There's not a problem with that. But the problem is when you basically single out a certain group of people. And that's a problem. Because if you put 40-year-old black dude to tell me what didn't work, that is bad. That is so bad. Some white woman to tell me that's bad. So yes, that is a racist statement, what she said. She probably didn't mean it that way. Most likely she didn't mean it that way, but it came out that way. Again, phrasing. That's the word of this podcast, phrasing. So and then she came back out and basically a few days back, I believe, had to basically, I think somebody must have said something to her because she's now coming out saying, what she meant was, this is what she's saying. What I'm looking for is to bring more seats up to the table. No one is getting their seat taken away or chair taken away. There's not less seats at the table. There's just more seats at the table. Fine. Then why didn't you say that at the beginning? That's the problem. You didn't say that at the beginning. You basically singled out a group of people, and you can't. I don't care who you are out there. You can't argue with the fact that it is a racist statement. It is. I just gave you a good example. If you put black instead of white, woman instead of dude, it's a problem. It's a bad statement. And I know what she's trying to do, and it's admirable that she wants, more people. I have no problem with it. Really, I don't. I just have a problem with the way she's saying it. Brie Larson, remember phrasing. Well, she recently came out and made more statements, of course, about her workout, how tough it was, make her body hers. And I'm just laughing about it, the way she said it. And there is a video, you can find it, of her pushing a Jeep. And everyone's going, man, how amazing is that? Let me tell you something. I have pushed my truck on a hill just as steep as that. And I haven't worked out as hard as her. And I pushed my truck. And I don't want people to go, you're a male. Oh, no, we're not. No, the way she's talking, because there's a video of it, her saying that she's looking at, now after her martial arts workout and everything, she has a new outlook in life, and that now she looked over and she sees a guy with a gym jacket on saying, I could toss him. So you're advocating violence now? And no, she's not, but it sounds like it again. Because if a guy went out and said, yeah, man, I saw a woman with a gym shirt on, I could toss her. Oh, that guy'd be in trouble. Man, that guy'd be in trouble. Oh, my gosh. So, yeah, you can't be saying stuff like that. And trust me, she doesn't want to do that. Because there are guys out there who aren't very big. Mighty Mouse. The ex-UFC, I guess, super lightweight champion or something like that. That dude is such a bad dude. And he's much smaller than her. And he would tear her up. You can't do that. You can't say, I can toss him. No, you couldn't. No. And you know what's funny? She's acting like, oh, look at me. I'm tough now. Maybe she's not coming across that way, but the way she's acting, she is. If you want tough women, look at Christina Santos, Cyborg. Look at Amanda Nunes. Look at Ronda Rousey. There is not a guy out there who'd want to tangle with them because they will mess your world up. Those are badass women. Those women, man, you have to have a ton of respect for them. They are just, I respect them. Those are women and they don't go around talking about how they can beat up guys because I guarantee you they would not get in a ring with any of these guys in the MMA. A guy from the street they probably could, and they probably could take him. Because that's what they do. They study that all their lives, and they're very good at it. But other guys from the street, they couldn't. Trust me, there's guys out there just really, really tough. But again, these women who are absolutely badasses don't go around saying that. You know, it's weird. And she's basically coming out saying basically she's, follow me. The way they kind of look, she's the superhero. She's the hero. Everyone to look up to for all the women. And I'm telling you, there's a lot of women out there who do not feel that way. I grew up watching Buffy and Xena, and I love those shows. In fact, I think I got all the Buffy DVDs and then Angel DVDs because I just love that show. And I never thought of her as a woman. I thought of her as a great character. Same with Xena. And I liked them because they were flawed. Big time flawed. It took a while for them to get to who they were. I love the show. Movie-wise. Go to movies. Princess Leia. Oh my gosh. That was a strong woman. And I never thought she's a strong woman. I thought she's a cool character. To me, you've done your job. And plus, Slave Leia, man, puberty hit me hard that time. But again, she was in a situation and she turned the tables and she killed Jabba the Hutt. Spoiler if you didn't know. God help you if you didn't know. But she turned the tables and she just killed this giant thing. Badass. Badass woman. So, again, but that's what they say. Movie-wise, Sigourney Weaver as Ellen Ripley. Man, there was, to me, no more of a badass woman ever. Unless you want to go with Sarah Connors. I don't know the name of the actress for the life of me. It can't come to my head right now. But Sarah Connors. Those two women were just badasses. To me, just, again, and I never once thought of them as women badass. I just thought of them as badasses. And that's what they should be doing. Not her. You got Brie Larson going around, women this, and follow me, women this. And there's a lot of women who don't like that. What happened to Wonder Woman? I thought Wonder Woman was a really good movie. Did I really, really love it? No. But it was extremely well done, and I enjoyed watching it. And the funny thing is, Patty Jenkins, the director, did probably the best job anybody could do with that movie. Because remember, Joss Whedon had the movie for a while. He did, and he couldn't figure anything out to do with it. Here comes Patty Jenkins, and bam, nails it. And now they're doing a sequel with Kristen Wiig as Cheetah, which I'm not too sure about, but maybe she'll knock it out of the park. Who knows? But Patty Jenkins, to me, is an amazing director for what she did with Wonder Woman. I'm looking forward to seeing what else she does. And those are strong women in movies. One of my favorite series, Jessica Jones. I love Jessica Jones. The first season is probably one of my favorite Marvel seasons of all. Granted, the second season was awful, but not because of her, because the story was really bad. But she's awesome. Agent Carter Mars. Agent Carter Mars. You got to be kidding me. I just said that. Carter Mars. I got all my movies and my TV shows. Agent Carter of S.H.I.E.L.D. I remember when I first heard about this show, and I'm like, this is going to fail hard. This is going to be bad. There's no way anybody's going to want to see this. And I was wrong. God, I'm glad I was wrong. Because it became one of my favorite shows, and I kept looking forward to it. It only lasted 2 seasons, which really upset me. The critics loved it, the fans loved it, and yet it only lasted 2 seasons. Haley Atwell was amazing. And that was in an era where men basically kept putting women down. Women can't do this. And yet she was awesome. And I enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed it. So you don't have to be, I'm a strong woman. Look at me. Women, follow me. Just be a strong character. Just like those women I just mentioned. I'm watching Deadly Class. And the women on there are just wicked. And I love watching them. They're cool. And they're flawed. But yet they're cool as hell, and I love watching them. Again, good characters. That's all I want, good characters. So I'm not sure, I have a feeling she's been told to slow down on what she's saying, because apparently, from what I've heard on her Twitter, it was 7 days before she tweeted again, and I think it was something about Singapore. I don't follow it, so it's 7 days. And so I have a feeling maybe the higher-ups at Disney/Marvel said something to her, which is a good thing. I don't want any more of this to come out. I just, let the movie speak for... Hear this. Listen. If she never said any of this stuff, and I mean any of it, the only thing people would be probably mad about is the way they're promoting the movie. Basically, to women. But they wouldn't be saying nothing about Brie Larson. Nothing. And I guarantee you the vast majority of people would want to go see it, because after all the speaking, all the stuff that she did, all the stuff that said, and she didn't phrase correctly, the movie was estimated at one point to be 160 million opening, 180 tops, and it dropped to like 100 million. They say it's probably around and back up to about 120. Marvel, I think, is scared because apparently, and they showed, some people have showed screenshots, that you cannot get refunds for the tickets you pre-purchased. Yet you can do that with other ones. Someone showed their Alita, ticket, and there was a refund thing there, but not with the Marvel one. Well, that's kind of weird, isn't it? Why wouldn't they? Are they that nervous? Are they that scared? It's just a strange thing. And by the way, I think I'm going to go see Alita Battle Angel because I keep hearing how good it is. If I can get to it, I'm really busy and it's hard for me to get to see movies and stuff. But I've been sold. On Alita, I've been sold. That I was watching that Star Wars girl, and she was talking about Alita, and everything she said about it sounded great. And I'm like, she sold me basically. So I'm thinking I might be going to see it. If not, I'm definitely getting it on DVD. And that's funny how no one talked about Alita, huh? Everyone's talking about this, how bad, and what you say, and no one wants to see it. And Alita, nothing, not a thing. And there's a strong female character, well, cyborg female character, but still female. So another thing I've noticed, and I saw a few sites basically talking about this. One was Mecha Random 42, another woman, by the way, posted this on her site, and I'm going to see about posting some of these sites links on the bottom so you guys can check them out. They're fantastic. The toys for Captain Marvel, they're on clearance, and the movie hasn't even come out yet. Nobody apparently is buying. They don't go on clearance unless they're not being sold, and they're not being sold, and that says a lot too. So, oh boy, oh boy. So, like I was saying earlier, there are some sites you might want to check out with some really awesome, comments on this. A lot better than mine. Geeks and Gamers is one. Like I mentioned earlier, that Star Wars girl, she's fantastic. Mecha Random 42, which I just mentioned. Altiori, I think it's Altiori. She's very good too. So I'll put the links down there, and check them out. They're very good. And man, they're especially that Star Wars girl. She's angry. Oh, she's angry, and it's great to watch her. So that's another thing. I want to get a camera for this to do this, but right now I'm just saving up for something else. But yeah, that's my 2 cents, if you will, on this whole Brie Larson backlash and drama, if you will. And I hope Brie Larson learns how to phrase her statements a little bit better, because I would like to see the movie, but I don't know. Am I going to see it? Maybe I'm going to see it. I'm not sure. I'll probably wait. Wait to hear what people say about it, get an idea. I'm not going to watch critics. I'm going to hear people. And I know certain people probably go see it, but I'm not sure. And I'm a big Marvel fan. I love the Marvel movies. I really do. And I don't want Captain Marvel to come along and all of a sudden, dun, 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 I'm the most powerful hero ever. I'm going to save the day, and I'm going to go into the Avengers and save the day when Thor and Captain America and Iron Man, they all can do it, even though they had 3 movies each. All these people who established themselves. Ugh. I really wished that they had made a Black Widow movie first. I think she deserved it more. And I'm really interested in her story. I'm really interested in it. I'm looking forward to it. There are rumors that it's going to be rated R, which I hope they do, but I seriously doubt it. But if it is, oh, heck yeah. But I'm looking forward to the Black Widow movie a lot. And I'm wondering if Hannah I'm drawing blanks again with the actresses and stuff like that. I do that every so often. I will sit there and I will be thinking about a certain thing or something like that, and next thing you know, I'm trying to tell a story, and the next thing you know, I forget. I absolutely forget. I'm just like, ugh. But I hope that Scarlett Johansson, there's the name. Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. I hope she is watching what's happening with, Brie Larson, and hopefully she's like, you know what? I'm just going to let my movie speak for itself and talk about the movie. And you'll have so many people go see the movie. I guarantee it. So anyways, that's my 2 takes. I hope you enjoyed my diatribe or my Well, my opinion. Yeah, my my opinion. So I hope you enjoyed it. It's not a right or wrong thing. You know, if you have a different opinion, that's fine. You know, if you like it, leave a like. If you dislike it, leave a dislike. You know, just tell me what you didn't like, or tell me what you liked about it. You know, I like to keep doing this. I like to discuss it with people because I live by myself. I don't have anybody to talk to. My brother comes over like 2 or 3 weeks, but that's it. So I'm hoping to find people to talk to and stuff like that on here and talk about this stuff. And I don't wish any ill will towards Brie Larson. I hope the movie does well. I really do. I'm not as angry as everybody else. That Star Wars girl. I'm telling you, gotta watch it. She's just rah! So thank you very much. I really, really do appreciate y'all listening. And I'm going to be doing more of these here and there. And if y'all seem to like them, I'll start doing more and more. So thank you very much, and I will see you again here in another episode of Curious J Talk. Bye-bye.